We are birds. No, we're not. Hey, people of Earth. It's Kyle and Alex doing another episode.
It's already been a week.
Yeah, I feel like the weeks are going faster than they've ever gone.
This is crazy.
This is what, episode 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, episode 6.
Episode 6.
Yeah, and the week for me, I'm just going to ask myself a question and answer it. Lots of auditions, which has been great. It feels like there's a bounce back in the industry, which is cool. Still feeling kind of shit from a breakup. Spending a ton of time in nature. And it's been sunny almost for a week straight. And this is like, I need as much of this as humanly possible. Look at this nice lighting. We're also kind of like low-key poor, so like deal with it. We do with what we got.
Yeah, no, the sun has been reinvigorating, but it's been cool. It's been super foggy here. It's been frosty. It's been cold still.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. But yeah, my weeks are just ripping by. Busy at work, which is great.
Yeah.
And yeah, just hanging out.
Yeah, that's winter in a place with 4 seasons. That's pretty much what winter is. You just hang out and work, and you don't really go looking too much outside your goldfish bowl.
Yeah.
This week, our topic is going to be AI, artificial intelligence.
Depending on who you talk to, might be everyone's favorite, or as I've learned, can create quite a visceral response in people sometimes.
Yeah, it's a hot topic.
Yeah, especially amongst artists. Yeah. And I think in your industry, I'm not sure if anyone expected that to be like the forefront or take the spotlight of that whole AI discussion when...
I don't think it was a discussion at all.
Yeah. But the discussion with AI around art, I guess, is what,
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think in general, it kind of came out of a corner, so to speak, in that no one was really thinking about it unless you're in those industries and working on it. Like the average person's not thinking about AI. And then when it came out and started to show its head in terms of like advancement in technology, I don't think people expected it to go right to art right away. I think most people think like, oh, it's going to start automating truck driving, you know, and like functional things that help our economy run better and free up human potential to do human things. Mm-hmm. And again, here's where all of the conversations start is, from my perspective, I'm like, oh, AI, that's cool. I guess we can automate trucking because we don't need I'm of the belief that human potential is a special thing. And when your mind is freed and your space is freed to create things and to use your potential, we can do amazing things like build pyramids and do, wondrous things. We don't need to use human potential sitting in a truck creating, a compressed disc in your L5 vertebrae. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need you to drive 18 hours and kill yourself to make a buck. We can automate that. And I also see the issue in taking, hundreds of thousands of truck drivers and be like, no job for you, you know?
Sure.
So, but like, in general, when we went from horse and carriage to car, everyone who was horse and carriage was shaking their fist and going, no, cars are the devil. Cars are the devil. And they're going to eat your family and your children while they sleep. Like, people kind of get crazy about technological advancement. Yeah. So when I saw it go from thinking that's what it was going to do to like, oh, hey, we're going to create art tools that are going to people are thinking it's going to make art irrelevant. This is my conversation is, I actually don't think it's going to make art irrelevant. It's going to make art more important than ever, made by people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's that reactive piece that you're talking about. It's like, change is scary, simply put, and we have this new technology that's changing and evolving so much faster than like we are able to. I think maybe in the past that was maybe like the difference is like the technology was changing, but it was in like larger time scales and bigger swaths, or you could see it coming years in advance. Whereas AI feels like it was just happen and then it happens again. And then you hear about this thing like the singularity or whatever, and you're like, okay, well, like what's going to change when that happens? Like, even I feel that some days I wake up being like, when am I going to see the headline where it's just like, all right, AI can finally do this.
The singularity's here.
So do I still have to pay rent? Or like, can
Yeah.
someone do I
Do
have
I
to
still have to pay
like,
taxes?
yeah, like,
Like, can we stop doing that?
can
Like,
we just fix traffic?
yeah, can we fix traffic?
Like, I would add years to my life
Oh
if we
my
just
God.
could fix traffic.
Or
But
or using AI to work with engineers and architects in how to build out cities in a more efficient manner, that we're not always trying to catch up to the demand of populations moving into city centers and trying to figure out how to, because it feels like we're always building roads and there's
yeah,
always construction, but like, let's just figure that out and do it all at once and be done with it. Like, why do we have to keep let's create more
yeah,
traffic and
yeah.
more, like, that's what AI should be used for, is to create and use all of the human potential to go, oh, okay, this is how you fix your problem.
Hmm. But yeah, I do think I've surprisingly, even just bringing it up casually, like I am not in the tech scene. I'm not a super like, I'm not like, yeah, AI, like I'm using it all the time or anything. But I find that when I bring it up, even casually, people will like, I've been like shamed. And this happened with a coworker recently where they were like, just dropped the line. They're like, I think AI is immoral and like I judge anyone who uses it. And I was like, you're ridiculous. Like that is the most ridiculous thing I have heard. Like that is a slippery slope to claiming moral superiority over someone who uses like a new technology. And I'm just like, yeah, like don't get me wrong, we can move forward in our future and like there are things worth preserving. There is a human element of art or of doing things the old-fashioned way that
Yeah,
can be worth preserving and
of
is
course.
like more rewarding. But I was just like, man, I can't believe that that's right where you went to. Like I was like, there's no curiosity for you. There's no like, maybe if I like open up and accept this change, maybe if I investigate this a little bit, I might find it useful for myself.
Hmm. I also feel like the deeper lens to what you're saying right there is, it's not just about AI itself that's doing that. It's how people are communicating these days.
Hmm.
And uh, I don't see in general in politics, in technology, in art, many conversations anymore where you actually, a conversation, ba 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 ba. Oh, okay. Well, here's my perspective. Oh, and here, oh, what about this? And like, oh, I don't agree with that, but I think it could be this.
Yeah.
Like a back and forth of just rational point,
Uh,
for the sake of learning from each other on their perspectives, because really none of us know what's best. None of
no,
us
I
know
know.
what the right is. So even you're not fucking right, but you
No.
know it.
Yeah.
And you're just like, hey, this is cool. Like, want to talk about it? And they're like,
Yeah.
you're morally less because you want AI.
Yeah.
Like,
I know that when I embody the way that person thinks about this situation, I feel worse.
uh,
And good things don't happen as frequently to me. And
mm,
when I embody a more relaxed view
mm-hmm.
and a more curious view, then I feel better day to day and I feel less anxious and less fearful and less like, about the change that's coming, whether I like it or not.
Yes. And it is coming whether we like it
Like
or not.
humanity, that might be our only purpose is just to like until we boop.
Yeah.
Like
This is
that's
literally
fucking
humanity. Everyone, this is humanity.
boop, a burst.
A burst. Exactly. Um,
But yeah, and even at the end of that conversation with that person, it was just like I even pointed out to them, I was like, I would like you to acknowledge that at every point I've been willing to agree with you and like, yes, there is more ways. Like you don't have to use it for all these. It's still worth learning instead of just plugging it in sometimes and outsourcing your thinking. I'm like, I agree with you in a general sense. And I was like, at no point were you ever willing to agree with me on
yeah.
anything. You were just like, it's immoral. I'm gonna judge you for using it. And I'm like, that's preposterous.
Yeah.
Like I actually just like I can't be your friend. Like I just don't even want to be around you. I'm like that is preposterous.
Preposterous Rex.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's the most relevant to what I do as a living as an artist, but I feel like the least taken aback from this launch of AI into arts, because everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's going to come in and it's going to take over film and it's going to make your job irrelevant. You better do this and you better do that and you better get on it. You better get on it quick or you're going to be behind." Like, holy Christ, man! Like, just let me. And so I'm seeing what it's doing, and it's a tool. And from my perspective, artificial intelligence, since its inception, has been a tool created by people. It's not its own autonomous thing that's coming to kill humanity and wipe out all your jobs. It is from my perspective, the extension of human consciousness to grow and evolve forward. Like when we got on
Mm.
ships and we started traveling across the world and attacking each other and taking over land, and technology expanded, it's the same thing now in the digital realm. We're sending our ships out
Yeah.
and we're trying to see them sail and see how far we can sail into that horizon. And it's an invisible horizon. We don't know what's on the other side. And that's what scares people is what the singularity thing. They think they're going to hit a wall, just go poof, singularity, poof, we're all dead.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like that. I think we're going to expand our potential as humans. We're hopefully, and it seems like this from my perspective, that there are more people waking up to our potential and to what it means to be human than I've ever seen before in my life. So I think media is also a big player in sending out fear. Like there's a lot of fear mongering, like be scared of this, invest in this. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Elon Musk is the devil. You know, he has Grok and it's AI. You know what I mean? Like business is going to be businesses. They're going to keep making money. That's what they do.
Yeah. But also like it is terrifying in a
Yeah.
way. It is a terrifying technology. Like I was thinking about it the other night, comparing it to like the atomic bomb. Like the atomic bomb on one hand is like fascinating that scientists figured out how to like, you know, I don't know the full explanation, but like atoms and blah, we made this giant explosive, like crazy destructive. I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, that's impressive. Like that's like shockingly insane that we figured out how to do that. And then on the other hand, it's also like, holy fuck, that's terrifying.
But remember,
like,
when they did that, they didn't know if the atoms, when
No,
they started
yeah.
splitting, if they were going to catch the atmosphere on fire. There was a possibility, a low percentage, that we could explode the atmosphere and it would make a chain reaction that would pretty much kill all life on Earth. And they knew that going into it. And we still did it. We sent that ship.
Yeah. We're still just like monkeys playing around with sticks and stones, but the sticks and stones are AI and A bombs.
Exactly. The sticks and stones are AI and A-bombs.
Yeah. Oh, I totally lost my train of thought.
No, it's okay. I can go back to ranting on art. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'll collapse that art thing. Is that I'm not afraid of it in the arts because I think what it has done is actually bring people together. It's created more of a sense of community around arts, and not just people who are in the arts as like actors and performers and makeup artists and all these things, but the people watching are like, I want to watch people do this. I want to watch people move. I don't want to see a CG character like they want to see people do stuff because they're realizing and realizing the importance in human content and how much it means to us to like feel connected to what we're witnessing. So I'm not really afraid of it because, you know, it's also going to wake people up to go, hey, we should create some more laws around this.
Yeah.
We really should have a bit more of a structure so we can't just freely use it to hurt people, which, let's be honest, you think they're not going to use AI to make targeting systems and bombing systems? Like military is the first place technology goes. That's really what you should be worrying about. Not if AI is going to cancel the kind of movie content that you're watching. Like we don't want to put lasers in space that are like AI. You know, that's where the measure should be.
Yeah, and I mean that's the irony of stuff like war and strife is like it gave us all the tech after World War II. Like that's what gave us like the A bomb, all the stuff that sort of like trickled down from that is what
microwaves
allowed boomers to like live and like
all that technology trickled down into the consumer product and created a nice comfortable living for you because we made an atomic bomb. So perspective is everything. Let's just throw that out there, that right now this is the next atomic bomb, and AI itself is not inherently evil trying to hurt people. It's people with technology that use their intention for its purpose. Well, if we create a better perspective around using it and how we use it as people, as a community, then I think it's always going to be a balance. They're going to use it for war. They're going to. But we can also use it for arts. We can use it for economy. I would personally like to see more economic use in terms of how it can serve us in our daily lives. Like they're using it in your phones now, which annoyingly, they're using it to get your algorithm to see what you're looking at so they can target ads and sell you stuff. I would love to see it like take care better about your daily routines, like reminders and all these kind of things, and how it can like make some tasks easier for you. But it's going to take a rewiring of culture because, again, there is a lot of fear surrounding it.
Yeah. So then what are ways you use it? What are ways it's like being helpful to you?
Honestly, I have taken a look at all of the artistic tools. Might as well start there.
Yeah.
I've taken a look at Sona. It's a music making thing,
Mm.
and I just used the free version. I put in some of my poetry,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, make this a song and make it kind of like a scratchy voice from the South, and like it was really cool. I was like, wow, this is
Mm.
just fun. I was like, imagine what this will do to spark children's minds. So
Mm.
this is where my brain is at. Is like, oh, well, what if a kid had this and had
Yeah.
access to all this? What kind of mastery could it? Maybe he doesn't want to be a singer, but he wants to be a composer, and that's going to help him. What if you're a singer and I want to go, hey AI, help me learn from masters of singing on how to, you know, practice and how to, hey AI, can you help me, you know, find drills and exercises that allow me, which again, people would say, well, that's taking away from singing teachers. Well, sorry, not everyone has 250, 100 to $250 a session to learn to sing.
Yeah.
Some people, it's unaffordable. If you can, in person is always the best for something like that. But if you can't, and you're some poor kid, and all you have is a digital device and a phone, you have now access to learn something, a
Yeah.
skill, whether it's singing or how to construct a house, how to do this. You can access that tool and learn
Yeah.
something. So as a learning tool, I think it's one of the best innovations for the average person. It's just, I don't think the average person is using it as a learning tool. It's kind of like
Right.
lazily
Yeah.
like, find me all the best porn sites that are free and find this exact content that I, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's I
Or like I think
probably,
most people using it to kind of like therapize themselves
yeah,
and like understand
which I've
themselves.
done.
Yeah,
I've been
which
like,
is also interesting to
yeah,
think that like with this brand new technology, all we want to do is like understand ourselves more.
and maybe that's what it's for.
Yeah. But also touching on what you were saying with learning things, like again, it's just a tool. Like you could do both. You can get a singing teacher and use AI. I think people see it as this like, oh, it's either or you're going to replace. It's like, well, I have a car and I have a bike and I walk. It's like you can do them all. You can still access the in person and you can use AI as like a support or a supplement. You can use
Mm.
both of those things. Like you can do both.
So if you were to just use as an exercise here to just use your imagination, how do you think you could or society as a whole could use AI to um, better our lives, or some unique ways we could use it to like a positive purpose?
Ooh, that is interesting because everyone's so different with it. I feel like, yeah, I'm going to go with the first half. I feel like it's like when I watch maybe like sci-fi movies or like Iron Man and he has his like AI that's so fully integrated like in the home space, that's where I actually feel like it would be great. That it's like assisting you living your human life. Or like think about if
Mm.
we had like AI implemented in like the infrastructure of like rec centers and gyms and it was like I don't know, it could like regulate lighting and regulate
Oh
like a
wow.
bunch of different things and like change the experiences we have as we like enter these public and private spaces
Hmm.
and like yeah
Whoa.
build it into our
Infrastructure.
yeah
Yeah, that makes me think then also we have to create, this is where the laws come in, is like how do we create structures around who do we task to do that?
yeah
You know, because again, we know that power corrupts absolutely.
right
People who have the kind of power to do that, there's always going to be nefarious people that exist. So how do we create a structure that allows the right people to move in? And like, do we let governments make those decisions on how AI is implemented in our society? Like, this is the
yeah
tricky part: is we can sit here and be idealists, but when it comes to actual application, it seems like it's a lot more complicated. And this is why we're in such a conundrum, is because I think everyone seeps in themselves deep down, oh, this is complicated.
yeah
There's a lot to this, but I think no matter what, it's happening. It's rolling out. And I think the
mm-hmm.
prospectively, the best thing we can do is let's do what humans do and imagine. Use
yeah
the playful imagination to see how we can help ourselves with it, and like use the tools, you know, play with them. Like I'm not trying to make a film with them, but like I want to understand them to know what they're capable of and to see what they're doing. I just don't think they're here. I don't think tools are ever here to inherently destroy us. Tools are here to be used, and the kind of person that has the tool in their hand could be nefarious, or they could be a great person. And I think if you're a great person with a bunch of tools in your belt, you'll probably do a bunch of great things, and we can't even see how you're going to help people. And I think that's, I think sometimes, like you had that conversation with your friend, is a lot of people just have lost a lot of the trust, or it's been eroded in people creating technology, because we can look at history and see how much devastation has happened. That if you had empathy for them, you go, oh, well, you're just beaten up by how the system's affected you, and you're like, fuck AI, fuck it. And if you agree with that, you're with the enemy, which is reductionist. But are you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
And that was another thing I wanted to comment on in that conversation. It was kind of like this idea of like as above, so below, or like the physics of our own universe even being like, for every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. And if anyone out there watching and listening, if you think AI is like the devil, the dark, the evil, and it's expanding and growing, then on the other side of that, the inverse of that, then also everything that you hold to be good and true in the world is also expanding. Just like what we're talking about.
Yeah.
As the AI is going, people are like, no, I want more in-person stuff. Or, think of how many, I don't know, maybe dance nights or music events now. They're like, hey, we're going to do this phone free. We're going to do this like that. Like people do make these things happen. It's not, and I think like with the media thing, I think it's just hard sometimes. You'll wake up, you'll see the headlines, you'll be like, the environmental impact, the this, the blah, it's making people talk to each other less. And that's what media is. That's what the news cycle feeds off of. It feeds off of the fear and the anxiety. They're not going to post a headline about kids in a class use AI to create the most beautiful, like harmonious song and movie that 5-year-olds have ever made.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, all the way back to Roman scrolls and newspapers. Like, they were not promoting the great, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always been the negative feedback loops.
And again, like, you're going to just use it as a tool to support your life until it gets to that point where we are like, you can, like the Matrix, where you're going to download a skill into your brain somehow, and that we've merged our biological technology with this synthetic technology. Then that's a different story, and maybe that's what the singularity
Deus Ex,
is. Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely,
or like Hyperion.
If you haven't read the Hyperion book series, this is a little plug for that series. It's incredible.
Hyperion by Dan Simmons. Really great universe building, and probably one of the coolest like imaginings and envisionings of what intergalactic human species looks like.
Yeah, and the way he describes the visuals of these places gets your imagination just like pop, pop.
Yeah, and AI is very central to that story,
but also how the negative part of it. We won't ruin the story, but there's the evils. The evils that is the balance, the good, bad. In humanity, I truly don't believe there's good and bad. There's experience, and we're here for the human experience, and the human experience has both. And ideally, you're always trying to get more of the peaceful moments, the loving moments, but you're also going to have the grief and the hate and the spite and the angst and the greed, which...
Yeah. And while regulation is can and is important in these things, I feel like sometimes people think no, we have to go on breaks and stop. I'm like, we're not going to stop. Do you know humanity? We're not.
No.
We're never going to just and pivot and turn around.
We're building ships into space. We're building ships across the ocean. We're building submarines to go to the bottom of the ocean. We drill holes in the earth. We're just get every direction.
Yeah. And so you can, get all anxious about it and shake your fist and scream from your soapbox and everything. But or, as my favorite podcaster Duncan Trussell puts it, you can stay curious and investigate the nature of the universe.
Yep.
And you'll likely adapt to it a little bit better, even if you don't ever fully love it, and you're never AI. I love using it. I use it every day, and I use it for my business and my art and blah. That's fine too.
I like that you talk about DT, because it made me think about AI has done something beautiful for humanity. It's made a lot of people look at the philosophy of living and what it means to be human, what it means to have a human experience, what it means to we have technology detox now. Think about that. what that even is. That there's a concept of technology detox, that we've gotten so far in the integration of technology in our lives that, hey, you shouldn't look at your phone for the first 15 minutes of waking up and the last 15 minutes before you go to sleep or more. You shouldn't look at a device of any kind. You should just let your brain settle. And I find a lot of people who have sleep problems and they're all wired in their brain is because they have too much input. You're looking at your phone, then you're looking at your computer, then you're out looking at your phone there, and then you're listening to music, and there's always input, that the time to just go and slow your nervous system down and regulate, which is like us. We spend a ton of time in nature, like a lot compared to the average person. And that's my nervous system regulation. I try not to look at my phone before bed. Sometimes I have to when I'm reading an audition or something, but like I'm trying to do that. But we now have this philosophy to look at of like, hey, how can we actually come back to the more human elements that are just about the primality of being here on Earth, in a life, in a moment. And I think that's a beautiful thing, that in reaching out for the stars and, reaching out on these ships to go find AI, we're also coming back to a more humanness, which is, I think, is the balance you're speaking about, where we expand this way. Well, we also have to expand this way. So I think we're looking internally a lot now.
Yeah.
More than I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because of it. So there is a huge net benefit that we're all looking inside and going, hey, wait a second. Whoa, can we pause for a sec? What are we doing? Where are we going? Who are we?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Like, those questions have always been here in the human race, but I think more so, we now might have the tools to explain those questions. So how ironic that this tool that is so much fear is also a tool that can help us understand ourselves. We can collectively take 8 billion minds, put it together in this, like, the thing that people are afraid of, which is this singularity, and go, hey, can you help us understand what our purpose is here? Like, what are we doing in the universe? Why are we on this planet? Are there more planets like us? Is there other life forms like us that are pondering the same bullshit?
Yeah, it's cool. It's just been cool even to like track my own feelings around it. Again, I think maybe I already said this, but when it first like hit the scene, I was actually really afraid and really nervous, being like, oh my God, my job's gonna disappear, this is gonna disappear, blah blah blah. Like, it just, I was like, how do I plan for anything? Sometimes it still feels like that. And then as time has gone on, and again, not as like a super AI enthusiast, but it's just like I've just found myself being like, oh, it's just another experience that's happening. And I can remove the like good and the bad, and there is good and there is bad around it, like there will be with anything, but it's also just like a thing that's unfolding. And I would like to maintain some hope, even if it's like fool's hope. I would just like to maintain that and feel like that's a better way for me to exist, and that's a better way for me to achieve some level of harmony with this technology, and find a way that it supports my life, and also not go out and be like judging other people as immoral for using it, if that's what they use it for, or if like they really got some benefit, or even if they were kind of shitty and used it to like skeeze a bunch of people and make some money. It's just kind of like, okay.
I mean, people were doing that
like,
back when we were throwing shekels
yeah,
in the Renaissance. You know what I mean? People, sleazeballs are always going to be sleazeballs.
yeah,
I don't think you're going to change the course of humanity in that way, but you do have the choice on how you want to perceive it and how you want to use it. So I feel like,
I think dropping my own resistance to it has allowed me to just like live more fully in this lifetime. Because it is scary. It's something that's just going and going and going.
Yeah, and I mean, like, we're here for such a flash. We're here for just like a spark. Like, if you were healthy and you were really good at living, you might get 75 years plus. So like, it's also, what a special time to be here. That's another cool perspective that I take, is like, what a special time. I was born at a time before this technology rise. Like, I was there at the first cell phones. I watched it happen in the 90s, and I went, oh my God, like, I went, holy man, like, what? Like, whoa, you can just call someone? You can just pull that out of your pocket and go beep, 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 beep. You could just think about how fast we have jumped from there till now. Like, just the 25 years from 2000, 26 years now, from 2000 to now, like how technology has jumped and how AI is integrated. Imagine what the next 10 years are going to be like. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I think if you're putting all of these human principles in your life, then you'll be able to regulate your nervous system. And if you can regulate your nervous system, I think you can handle anything that's going to come, even your demise. I really feel like you'll be able to be like, okay,
Yeah,
cool. I'm here for you're here on the ride. You're on the roller coaster. You can't change the track. The track's the track, and you're just going, oh,
yeah,
well, okay. Here comes the dip. Okay, you ready? Ah! And then, and then you're, oh, actually, that felt good.
yeah.
I mean, maybe there's a really good
Yeah.
feeling coming, and we all don't know it, but we're about to be like, woo! Yeah,
Demise.
exactly.
That might be what it'll be like, though. You might just be like, oh, so this is demise.
Or we cohesively take all of human consciousness, put it on a chip, put it on a spaceship, send it out into space, and use that AI as a singularity to be like, hey, this is the human species. We're out here too.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well, we're gonna leave you on that high note, demise. And yeah, like, comment, throw it at your mother,
Yeah.
put it in your garbage can.
Let us know how you use AI, or if you like it. If you don't, I don't know, rant about it, praise it, whatever.
Yeah, I'd like to hear about it. That's true.
Oh yeah.
Peace.